Hello, Kahooters from near and far. Welcome to our latest edition of the Kahoot Teacher Talks webinar. We are so very glad you're here, and thanks for sharing some greetings and some hellos already in the chat, whether it is your first Teacher Talks in attendance or even you're coming back for your fourth edition. I see a few repeat names and repeat visitors, and also some new names and new faces. So either way, we are so very glad you're here sharing your time with us as we continue on for the latest session. I am Hannah Harris. Hello, hello. I am the community manager here at Kahoot, and I will be just one of your hosts, your MCs, and fellow Kahoot player throughout our event today. A quick introduction as we get started. Our Kahoot Teacher Talk series happens live each month, as I was saying earlier. And for each session, we explore a new facet of the Kahoot experience, whether in a tool, a function, a format, or even in a perspective and curriculum approach. All of these tools, all of these features, and all of these adages are powered by Kahoot tools available live to you already. And we hope that kind of this mindset and perspective aligns with the paces, the sequences, the flows of the school year, whether you're starting fresh in a new unit, a new semester, or even continuing on kind of reviewing previously taught materials. I'm seeing so many hellos as we get started. Thank you for being here again and again. I'm tuning in from Washington, D.C., USA, and I'm seeing so much global participation. I see the Ivory Coast is here, Slovenia is here, so much activity, so much participation. We encourage you to keep using the chat throughout our entire webinar session today. So keep at it, share, connect, network, however you prefer to learn and experience. We're glad that you're sharing that experience with us. As we continue in our webinar session today, we'll be deep diving in Kahootopia. Kahootopia is our version of the ultimate collaboration tool built into the Kahoot experience that you already know, love, and trust. Kahootopia transforms student learning experiences to better celebrate, achieve, and enjoy the classroom progress that sometimes kind of feels forgotten in the haste of learning and experience. We hear kids cheering and shouting and celebrating together with class rewards, on screen animations, and even some exclusive avatars and prizes along the way. All the while, we hope that you, as an educator on Kahootopia, can use the class island and display as a visual representation of student progress, class growth, knowledge acquisition, and all of the learned content built in throughout the year. We have a few of our very own Kahoot community members here today to spend some time discussing their own classroom experiences on Kahootopia. So, how they make all of that learning and that visualization possible with their experience, their ideas for implementation, their best practices for incorporating Kahootopia, not just in a like once in a while experience, but into truly daily and sometimes more than once a day classroom routine, because we believe that Kahoot can and really should be part of any and every classroom routine. So here is our plan for today in this Teacher Talks webinar. We are first going to get a behind the screen demonstration from one of our pedagogical and product experts here at Kahoot, Mara. And then next from there, she'll pass off to one of our very beloved and trusted Kahoot ambassadors for tuning in from South Korea, who will join on stage and share some of her own top tips, insider tricks on how she's been using Kahootopia with her students. Finally, we'll finish with a live Kahoot to kickstart our very own Teacher Talks class island in Kahootopia so you can kind of see both the teacher and player perspectives. Before we begin, though, I just wanted to share a few notes and reminders so that you can make the most of your learning today, whether online with us or offline after the webinar finishes. All of the sessions, both myself, as well as our live Kahoot, as well as our community member presentations, will be recorded and available for you to review, share, watch on demand after the event. We'll be sharing an event playlist via email using the email that you used to register for this event. So check that inbox. We usually try and get it to you within 48, 72 hours. So by the end of the week. We hope that you continue joining and rewatching on demand or even sharing that on demand recording with your colleagues, your teammates, your community members, whoever you think might enjoy a Kahootopia experience. Also, everyone tuning in live today, present in our webinar, will receive a certificate of attendance just for joining. Should you have any questions on how you might use that certificate for PD credits, continuing education degrees, however, we definitely encourage you to contact your local campus and school admin directly. So many processes and protocols for doing that. We feel that school-based professionals really know best in that experience. We have a fantastic group of crew members also here behind the screen today to help with Q&A and just general questions or suggestions. So should you have any comments, ideas, feedback, or even ask for clarification, please use the Q&A tool. You'll see that in the bottom center of your Zoom navigation panel to share these questions. That way we can be sure comments and ideas aren't getting lost in the speed of the chat stream, and really make sure that you are answered, understood, and we can attend to your needs. So without further ado, let's get started. Mara is going to head on stage to kick us off with the click by click directions to start on how you might organize and share a few new class islands with your students, whether in one class roster or throughout different class periods each day. Welcome, Mara. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited. This is my first teacher talks, but I was happy to see from the chat a lot of familiar faces. So hello to everyone, returning educators and the new ones. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen like this. I hope you see it. And start my slideshow. So Kahootopia. I am a learning designer here at Kahoot. I've been here quite a long time already. I was a teacher in my previous life, and I'm excited to show a little bit about Kahootopia. It's essentially, like Hannah said, a place where we celebrate learning and we reinforce that learning community of our classrooms. But it's also a place where students' learning journeys come to life in a very nice visual way that is really exciting. We launched not that long ago with Kahootopia. It's back to school day, so a few months ago. And it's a place that I feel like every week we're launching something new. We're building and we're improving and listening to you educators and your feedback and your students' feedback and just like wanting to build a wonderful tool for you to celebrate learning and visualize it and talk about learning with your students. Essentially, if you have never heard of Kahootopia, you've never had an island of your own, let's say, here's a quick video what it looks like. After each game, you start with a very basic island, and after each game, you unlock different things, and I will show you in a second what kind of things you can get. And as you're learning and as your skills grow, the island as well grows. So it's a kind of like a metaphor of your entire year of learning visualized in one island. And we know that there is so much learning that goes into a year of the life of a classroom. And sometimes we remember the big moments, the big tests, and maybe it's the assessment time for some of you that we take time and stop and talk about learning and the skills we've gotten. But learning it's fun, it's engaging, and it's also hard. It's something that happens sometimes in tiny, tiny steps. And we think that we should also celebrate those tiny steps. And what I love about this kind of a whole year metaphor of learning, when going gets tough with your students, and it does get tough at times, it's really hard to learn new things, you can go back and see like, look, we have done all these things. We have learned all these stuff. And it's been hard before, but together we get these steps in. I learned this amazing saying last week that I will share. It's you eat an elephant a bit by bit, one bite at a time. I'm a vegetarian, but you get the idea. Like we learn sometimes hard things a small step at a time. And this allows us to discuss those small steps, show those small steps, and show that learning a small step is enough sometimes. Okay, so how do we build this breadcrumb of a year, like tiny, tiny things over a year? We have a lot of different kind of buildings that you can get. You can unlock, you play Kahoots, you play games, and you unlock different things. And you can unlock subject-specific buildings. Let's say you are a math teacher. In your math class, you play math Kahoots. You unlock this wonderful red tiny hut that is the math subject topic building. And as you play more math Kahoots, this building evolves and grows. We have different buildings for languages, for science, social studies, and we're adding on different things as teachers are requesting them to suit their needs for different topics. So your island, if you're a classroom teacher like I was, my island would have languages. It would have science building, a math building, social studies building, because I taught all of the things. If you're more a specified teacher, your island might have only a few subject buildings, but then a lot of other things. So here we have visualization by topics, by classroom topics. And this is a science building. You can see growing, and level 1, it's a nice basic building. You keep on playing your science Kahoots. You get level 2, a bigger building, science building level 3, nicer building, and level 4 is already, I see a little bit golden things there. So you see the progression that students see as well. Now we're growing our skills, we're growing our building. It's something that we can discuss as well. Like, remember, in August, in September, we knew only this, but now at the end of the school year, we're already on this level. So we're building our skills. We have also huts or little houses based on accuracy as well. So it's not only topic based, but after every Kahoot, you get a tiny house. And here we have played, if you click the house later on in your island, you see which Kahoot it was. So it's very easy to play again the games you've already played, because they are the little crumbs on your island, and you can revisit the games you have played. And we have gotten 66% accuracy on world history, the Renaissance. We can play it again very easily, just one click play, and we can have a better accuracy as a classroom and see our skills improve. So even if we got like 10% accuracy, it's fine. We can always improve. There is growth to be had in learning, and we can grow our score up to the nicest hut. And that's a very rewarding thing for students as well. Let's try again. Let's improve it. I think we can do it. And I know many teachers use the same Kahoots, like, I do this Kahoot in September and I redo it in October, and then we can really see the growth and the learning of the kids. So that was performance, and then we have collaboration rewards. And this island, when it was like 2 months ago, it looked very tropical, and now for the winter, it is more wintry themed. On the left side of the island, there are different kind of achievements, and these achievements are achievements that reward collaboration. Like I said, learning is a collaborative endeavor. We are building a classroom learning community as well. And we want the kids to take ownership and want to have like this joyful feeling and have a little bit of say and feel like they're achieving something as a classroom group. So for instance, right now for this holiday season, we have, for example, do you want to build a snowman achievement, a reward? And that calls for every single character in your classroom choose their avatar to be a snowman. That's it. It's a very simple one, but it requires a little bit of collaboration. Let's discuss, let's choose, and let's do it. It also requires at least 50% correct answers. So even if your students do the snowman and they think that's enough, no, we still need to be learning. We still need to be putting in the effort, and we can always retry if we didn't get the snowman this time. We have different kind of Easter eggs, let's say. We have an elf for every single day of December, and a candy cane and the snowman, and then we have a Christmas tree award as well that requires a bit of more collaboration and negotiation from the kids. And that was collaboration, and this is something that I know a lot of teachers have requested. Like, the podium is fun. However, it would be nice to celebrate everyone's everyone's learning, because everyone is learning from their own level. So this is a new thing already, and I hope we get to test it today. So the podium on the island looks a little bit different. It's almost like a postcard you can send to the parents, or you can give away to the kids, or communicate to your fellow teachers. Like, this is what we're doing, we're learning, we're having fun, we're celebrating each other's success. So many times teachers have asked, I wish we could see other students than the podium. We have the 4th and 5th place, and we have everyone together, because playing a Kahoot only by yourself wouldn't be as fun as playing with your friends. And seeing yourself on the big screen for a student that maybe doesn't reach the podium that often, it's an amazing moment to see, look at me, that's me, the unicorn, that's me, that's the outfit I chose for this avatar. And we have different themes. Now it's the winter theme. We had just Halloween theme, and then in the summer we had our summer beach theme. And I know we have fantastic new things happening for the next months as well. But a fantastic way to really bring your classroom together. We're in it together, we're learning together, we're enjoying our big and small milestones, and we're also supporting each other when we're learning. All of this that I showed, it's free on the platform. It's free for you to try. Just go ahead, create your islands. You can have 2 islands. If you have several groups, you can have separate islands. And all of these achievements you can do already. It's there. Just go ahead and try them. But if your students are super excited, you want even more, you can try out Super Kahootopia. That is part of the Gold subscription. You have some special achievements that you can tackle, and you get more islands. You get up to 10 islands with Super Kahootopia. So go ahead and try everything, and you can keep on playing, keep on spreading those breadcrumbs of your learning onto the island. And if your students are extra motivated, if you want more islands, if you want that extra bit of award of collaboration, then you can try out Super Kahootopia as well. And I think that's my part. I hope I see you all on Kahootopia. I hope you try it out, play around, show it to your students, see what happens, talk about learning, talk about these wonderful steps you're taking, and yeah, just celebrate the awesome work you do in the classroom, the kids do every day. And even the tiniest steps are so important in learning.
Totally agree. Thank you, Mara, for
Hannah.
Thank you for showing us kind of the setup, the foundation of how to make all of this awesome learning more visible for your students in your classes. I just love that mention of celebrating the little progress. Not everything needs to be this grandest victory of an entire unit achieved or a whole test completed, an exam scored, but those little moments of celebration are just as important in boosting student autonomy, confidence, independence, and Kahootopia really helps to make that more visual and visible for the kids in the classroom, the teachers teaching, and of course, parents and families at home as well. So thank you for showing us the how to. Now we're going to transition a little bit more to see the why. Jisun is one of our Kahoot ambassador pioneers with Kahootopia. She has built out her Kahootopia class island from our very early days as a beta tester, continuing to grow, share, achieve, and has expanded her island quite a bit, as you'll get to see and hear about soon. So if you weren't quite convinced on the how to and are looking for the why, let's just say she's an expert and has so much valuable insight to share and spread from her own student experiences that you get to see and hear about next. So welcome, Jisun. We are very glad you're here. We'll continue on with your insights next.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, fellow Kahooters. It's a pleasure to meet fellow Kahooters in here, and I'll share my screen. Okay. My name is Jisun Lee, and I'm an English teacher at Uijeongbu Shinggok Elementary School in South Korea. I've been teaching about 10 years, and in our country, English is a foreign language, and lots of students struggle to learn it. However, we have Kahoot, a platform that significantly enhances students' engagement and enjoyment of learning. So I do my lessons with Kahoot. It's really helpful. Today, I'd like to introduce you to one of its most engaging features, Kahootopia. You might be wondering why I started using Kahootopia when Kahoot itself is already excellent. The answer lies in Kahootopia's description, a space to celebrate learning achievements and collaboratively build upon those achievements. This resonated deeply with me. And Kahootopia allows for shared progress, collective rewards, and opportunities for mutual encouragements. If you are curious about Kahootopia, I highly recommend exploring it. While Kahootopia is exciting, its first major advantage is ease of managing multiple classes in one place. I currently teach 8 classes in this year, so previously, keeping track of several classes was challenging. However, Kahootopia allows for the creation of up to 10 islands with an upgraded plan, so I created 8 islands and use it well. Don't worry, if you are using the free version, it lets you create 2 islands, so try Kahootopia. Creating and modifying island is straightforward. After creating an island, simply click the pencil icon on the island's image to adjust the name and grade level. This ease of modification is a significant advantage, just like me, who handle multi-classes. However, features like sorting by levels or grade are still absent, though I anticipate future improvements. Think of each island as a representation of a class's progress. Initially, it's a blank slate, but you can use various Kahoot game modes to populate it. When you launch Kahootopia, it's important to clearly explain what it is to your students. Otherwise, they won't understand its purpose. Explain that they can use familiar Kahoot game modes and watch their island grow based on their achievements. This gives them a visual representation of their learning progress within Kahootopia. A few weeks ago, Kahootopia was updated, and it's now even easier to see which island you are on. If you manage multi-islands like I do, you'll really appreciate these clearer island names. To start a game mode on a Kahootopia island, simply click Start New Game, or if you played a game before, click on buildings associated with the game modes on your island, just like the Treasure Troves or Cosmic Conquest. And after selecting a game mode, is the same as for Kahoot. Once you've chosen a game mode, you can set which quiz set you want to use. Alternatively, you can find the quiz sets you want to discover in the main menu and link them to Kahootopia. At this point, the game mode will end and you will automatically return to Kahootopia, where you will see the gift boxes Mira showed it before, and they will automatically open one by one, and you will see the buildings you play with your students create or develop. If you want to jump from one island to another, you can always return to main Kahootopia by clicking the small glove in the top left corner. Right now, let me give you a real-life example of how I use Kahootopia with my students. In Kahootopia, new achievements are important, very, very important. Inside new achievements, you will find information about seasonal events and game modes and subjects. Firstly, seasonal events will tell you about limited edition symbols that are unavailable after a certain time. It's like catching a rare Pokemon in Pokemon Go that only appears at a specific time of the year. For October, there were Halloween-related symbols, and for November, there were autumn and Thanksgiving-related symbols. I taught the elements of October and November events in relation to my English cultural lessons. In October, we looked at the word related to Halloween, such as jack-o'-lantern through pumpkin heads and haunted mansion. And in November, we learned about turkeys, which are unfamiliar to Koreans, and extended the learning of vocabulary related to autumn. For December, we discussed the Advent calendar in relation to the elves that change every day, along with learning words related to winter. We're also practicing basic weather and seasonal vocabularies and expressions as we see the different environment in Kahootopia change with the seasons. We haven't met all of the different elves yet. We only met how many? 4 elves, but we've been looking at and saying the words to describe them, just like the bookworm elf or sleeping elf, or yesterday in Korea, I met the chess master elf. And students can't wait for meeting the elves who change every day. They really want to stay in Kahootopia as if it were a roll call. It's increased participation, really. And this is the picture of Halloween events with students. And this kind of signature events encourage students' collaboration. For example, the November event yelled Scarecrow and Grand Turkey items. The December event yelled Mr. Snowman and Winter Wonder Tree. These rewards fosters a sense of shared accomplishment and excitement, encouraging further engagement. For the December event, only one person was allowed to wear the Christmas tree hat, and the students communicated well with each other to unify their characters and make sure they had the right accessories. These small steps prepare the students for the lesson together. The Game Mode section helps track progress. A green check mark indicates a completed game mode, while an empty space indicates an unplayed mode. Reviewing this section with your students allows for collaborative discussion on suitable game modes for specific quizzes. As you play quizzes in Kahootopia related to subjects, these buildings will appear. If you play math-related contents, you will get a Count Me In building. And if you play English lessons, you will get a Hello, Hola, Bonjour, or Word Master building. If you teach a variety of subjects and play in Kahootopia, your island will be filled with more different buildings than mine. Each of my 8 islands is unique, boosting students' confidence and encouraging further engagement. And comparing with the Kahootopia Islands, you can easily find out what game mode and subject type we didn't play before, so it is really helpful to prepare your lessons. And Kahootopia makes it easy to see class progress, including the percentage of correct answers. Buildings like the Smurf Mushroom House appears at the end of each quiz and change based on the class's performance. Students can look at these and often suggest additional review if the percentage of correct answers is not up to expectations, which creates an active and collaborative atmosphere with positive reinforcement. Also, Kahootopia emphasizes collective achievements. It takes the pressure off struggle learners. At the end of each game mode, a game theme poster appeared. This is from Treasure Trove, and the right side for poster is Submarine Squad. Students enjoy looking at their costume avatars and discussing their play. Even if the avatars are identical, just like the right side of my slides, and due to the event, the shared experience is memorable forever. This shared experience of progression creates a positive learning environment. And after you finishing the classic mode, it displays a podium showing top performers, but unlike other platforms, it shows place 4th and 5th, promoting inclusivity and encouraging mutual celebration. For me, Kahootopia offers streamlined multi-class management, simple island creation and modification, fun game modes, collaborative events, and efficient result tracking. It provides a sense of accomplishment, combines individual competition with team effort, and enables students to visualize their growth, generating positive peer feedback. I hope you can see why I use Kahootopia in my classroom, and I hope you can watch your students grow with Kahootopia too. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Ji-sun. We got to see all of the behind the screen, and then we got to see the impact and growth and improvement and so much of the student experience, both in collaboration, but also from the teacher's experience of organization and how to kind of build out the more streamlined, as you said, format of working across different classes, across different rosters, and with different students. So thank you for sharing your personal experiences and all the ways that Kahootopia has really transformed your student classroom experiences. And also, thank you for staying up until 1 a.m. to make this happen and be here. That is such a testament to your dedication to not just learning in the classroom, but learning and sharing across the entire world. So very, very thankful for you and much appreciated. We are going to now experience our very own Kahootopia Class Island experience. You'll get to watch firsthand as I create a Teacher Talks Class Island for us. So although we're not sitting in our own classroom amongst four walls and with desk, pencil, paper, or even personal devices, this way you can kind of get that firsthand experience of what your students might experience. And joining a Kahootopia Class Island for the very first time, we'll also launch a Kahoot together so that you can see that firsthand as we play a little bit of tricky trivia about what we've learned today in Kahootopia. So I'm going to share my screen from login at Kahoot. So my process is with a Kahoot EDU account, just like you'd have access to as a Kahoot educator in school teacher or school-based staff, whether K-12, higher ed, whomever. Your screen will look just like my screen. So let's click along together as we try this out. So I am now at Kahoot.com. If you logged into Kahoot.com, you'd see this too. Very familiar. And of course, I'm going to go right over to my login to get to my teacher-specific account. Now, this is the Kahoot homepage that you'll see upon any login. We have previously played Kahoots available. We have recommended channels. We have recommended Kahoot content and courses and lessons and some fun teacher tips along the way. But most importantly, across the top of our screen, we see a prompt to start our very own Kahootopia Class Island. So let's get started together as we celebrate Teacher Talks, achievement, and inclusive learning. I am going to actually reshare my screen because I want to make sure that you are seeing every part of what I'm seeing, with pop-ups, with questions, with reviews, with everything that's still to come in Kahootopia. So welcome to Kahootopia. We are celebrating class achievement and inclusive learning with collective learning rewards in Kahootopia, kind of built in and embedded to that learning experience. We feel it's the ultimate classroom tool for learning together. And what a great message to share with your students as we are coming together and learning for one. So we will get started together. We will learn together and earn rewards, and we will celebrate together as well. So let's jump on in. Today, I'm starting my very own new class island. So as Ji-sun was saying, she has 8 class islands for 8 different periods and rosters of students. Up to 10 islands are available in Super Kahootopia. If you are operating on the free version, 2 class islands are available. And these class islands you can kind of think of as a class roster or a period of the day. You'll revisit these islands again and again. So unlike Kahoot in a standard isolated experience where you start a new Kahoot for every lesson, a class island can be revisited and growing and expanding and sharing for celebration. So let's name our island Teacher Talks. And there's an option to select a grade that matches with your learning experience. This just helps us tweak the visuals, the animations to be best fit for your students. Of course, we are across many different grades and perspectives as adults and educators. We could be in the adult learning perspective. I came from a first grade classroom. That's what I taught before Kahoot. So I'm biased. That's where we're beginning grade 1 today as we create our island. So you'll see our winterized skin perfectly timed as I see snow falling outside my window right now. And our winter season and winter celebration is brand new and unique, just launching recently. And as Ji-sun was saying, we had different seasonal events around autumnal themes with the different fall holidays. I'm sure we're going to expect to see some new themes as we continue in the different seasons and calendar events and years. And we also have some fun Kahootopia music playing as well. I'm going to keep my music back down just so you can hear me and it's not too distracting, but we are going to start sharing and connecting in Kahootopia. So this is the island unfinished, undeveloped. We haven't yet played any Kahoot games or lessons or completed any learning. So it looks pretty small for now, but we'll check back in it in just a bit after we play a Kahoot together and see how this island may expand. So let's start a new game. We're going to play in our winter holidays mode, perfect for the very frigid Kahootopia island we see. And I'm going to browse from the Kahoots that I've already created and are ready in my library. Of course, you can search on the Discover page as well and find Kahoots ready-made lessons that are available from our premium partners, our verified creators. But I've prepared a Kahoot special for us today, and we'll start there. So we are on Kahoot Teacher Talks, our Kahootopia live learning, and we are ready to begin. So now the Kahoot experience looks just like it would in a classic game, classic format of Kahoot. You'll see a lobby come on screen. You have options to join with a character, an accessory, and you can, of course, share your own nickname or your login information as well. I'm going to copy that game pin of 6475240 on our screen. I'll also expand the QR code. Remember, you can join this live Kahoot on a mobile device, on a new browser, in a new tab, on your Kahoot app, or you can just watch along too. All perfectly fine if you're just wanting to learn and share and celebrate others. Kahootopia and Classic Kahoots are perfect for that. So adding that game pin to our chat now. Deborah says, should I be logged in somewhere? You don't need to log in. In fact, you can join without any login information. All you need to do is enter that unique game pin. So you will be entering 6475240 and adding your name. No username, no password required. You'll just visit www.kahoot.it to find it, or just click the link in the chat. Cheryl is asking, why is this not available for adult language learners? In fact, it is very much. Kahootopia can be spread across so many different ages, grades pre-K to 12, higher ed, and adult learning. I was just choosing grade 1 just for the sake of our experience, but of course we could try it for adult learners as well. All right, I know that we have quite a few people live in our Teacher Talks today, and we're seeing more and more people join on screen. I'll give us just another moment or two to share and log in. Again, that game pin is 6475240. And I'm seeing on my screen so many different avatars come on through, tons of nicknames. Hello, Val. Hello, Ren. Hello, Thomas. Hello, Dominica. Hello, Eddie. I see 103 players so far. That to me sounds like a nice whole number. Let's get started. Remember, if you haven't already joined our lobby, the game pin will be in the chat and it's always available on screen as well. So you'll see the Kahoot game pin in the bottom center of my screen. I'm going to go full screen so it's nice and big for us to watch and share together. And we'll get started. So just a few trivia questions about Kahootopia. See how focused you were in this active learning. We are playing for swag too, if I hadn't mentioned that already. So I hope you make it to our celebratory class island Kahootopia. What is Kahootopia? Is it a tool for the whole class to work together and celebrate achievements? Is it a new solo mode where the students send videos? Or is it a new question type with animated answers? Hopefully this is an easy question to get us started. What is Kahootopia? There were even some questions on this animation playing on your screen and my screen. So if you weren't quite sure, hopefully you used some context clues to help you out along the way too. But in fact, Kahootopia is a tool, and not just a tool, but the ultimate tool for the whole class to work together and celebrate achievements. I'm hoping that this really impacted our leaderboard well. It seems like 112 people were following along so far. And congratulations to April for being our first place winner. With just 5 questions, our leaderboard could shake up quite a bit. What do your students need to do to earn rewards on the island? Another classic question, another quiz for us. Are they creating a Kahoot account? Are they playing a Kahoot, finishing a course, or creating a Kahoot? Keyword, what do your students need to do? Remember, we're all meant for that collaboration experience and component on the Kahoot platform with these class islands. So what are they doing to earn rewards? They're playing a Kahoot. Of course, there's so much to learn, experience, and do on the Kahoot platform as a whole. But as far as class islands are concerned, those rewards are from playing a Kahoot. A little bit of change up in our leaderboard, but April is still at the top. A pin answer question. There are multiple ways that you could drop a pin on this question. So really search around and see if you're in one of the several points, you are correct. What is added to the island every time your students finish a Kahoot? So you'll want to manipulate the image on your screen, move around that map, and drop your pin on an area that is added to the island every time your students finish a Kahoot. There are many answers on this screen. I wanted to make sure that we had lots of options to share and change up that leaderboard with our pin answer question. And we saw lots of options. So we were looking for buildings, we were looking for elves, we were looking for animations, trees, and it seems like we did get some switch up in our leaderboard. So let's see how it affected our scores. MB1 has made it to the top, but up 53 places. Pelican is the highest climber. Congratulations. A slider question for us next. By the end of the holiday season, how many elves can be earned for the island? Ji-sun was mentioning that her class has already earned a few. Mayro was telling us how many elves are available in our Elf of the Day holiday challenge. How many elves can be earned on your island? In case you want to find this out for yourself, you can play a Kahoot every day in December to unlock a unique new elf, kind of to celebrate and add some festive cheer to your Kahoot island. There are 31 elves available. I'd love to check back in December at the end of the month and see how many of us have earned those awesome elves. Our leaderboard is changed up again. This is so dynamic. Decomp, congratulations, you're now at the top. A true or false question, but with double points. So again, an opportunity to shake up this leaderboard. These islands have become a record of achievement for the class. Thinking about that visibility and visualization of learning, true or false? How can Kahootopia be used? In our final 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, don't miss out on this last question. It's true, of course, these islands are such an awesome visual representation of class achievement, making it truly the ultimate Kahoot learning experience. Now, Our podium is pretty special because, of course, we're celebrating our third place, second place, and first place winners. Making it to the top, we have Decomp has lasted all the way through, but you'll see that our podium is extra exciting on Kahootopia as we visit our island together. We're celebrating with our entire class and all of our learners. So check out how our class island has transformed. You can see everyone is part of the reward experience. We hear all the time that educators are so bummed that not all of their learners can be celebrated because, of course, we know that practice is progress. Answering correctly is not always most important, and Kahoot Islands and Kahootopia really help to make that celebration even more visible. So we see all of our players and avatars up there. You can probably find yourself with different personalization in your character and accessories, and we'll claim our reward together. So we've earned several prizes and rewards in this. We have so many players earning correct answers, so we've added a building to our island. We have earned our elf of the day, a chess master elf, looking very studious and focused. We've earned the Sugar Rush achievement. We've learned the Count Me In achievement, earning quite the fun building, and the best Back to Basics achievement. So our island has grown already. We have the classic arcade, and you can see what started as first just a small rectangle is now a full-fledged island that will continue growing as more Kahoots are played and played again. So you can always revisit this island. We're going to close our Kahoot screen now and see the progress that we have made. Let's find. Okay, so if we are back on our home screen, refreshing to see what our Kahootopia looks like, you'll see that our island now has options where you can add in more rosters. So if the bell has rung, classes have changed, and I'm with a new set of students, I can create a new island, play the same Kahoot or another Kahoot, or I can revisit my Teacher Talks island that we've created together. So if you come back in January for our next webinar series, you might get to see our island continuing to grow and grow and grow. And here you can see the achievements and rewards that were already added. We can revisit and learn and share and continue looking to see what rewards we'll add to our island, or we can also revisit what we've earned so far. So we know on that left-hand screen, the rewards and achievements already accumulated are that Sugar Rush Award, the Elf of the Day Chess Master, as well as the Beneath the Tree. We have options to earn those seasonal rewards still. So we haven't yet built a snowman together, and we can check and kind of feel inspired or excited, eager for that next Kahoot Island experience and connect together. So maybe we need to look on playing a Kahoot where all characters are snowmen next time around for our Teacher Talk session in January. So that is just how Kahootopia has been built so far. There are so many ways to add personalization to your students, to your class, whether deciding together what your class island will be named as, or even adding different customizations with characters, accessories, how your island is continuing to grow. And it's just one more way to really celebrate those small steps of achievement that sometimes get lost in the haste of day-to-day responsibilities and classroom experiences. So just a really way to, again, celebrate class achievement and make sure that learning remains visible for your students and is always part of their day-to-day experience. So fun stuff happening in Kahoot Island with Kahootopia. We hope that you continue expanding your islands, and we'd love to see them as well. So definitely take pictures, share on social media, email us even with your class island progress. We'd love to see. Sharing is so caring, especially across communities and educator networks. Speaking of sharing, I also wanted to share with you the Twitter or X badge that you can share in your own social communities. Thank you for joining today as a certificate and kind of acknowledgement of your achievement. So in the chat right now, I am adding the Twitter badge that you might share across your own social networks. You'll also get an email from us later this week with details on how to download your certificate for joining. And we hope you continue learning with us, whether online in our next webinar or offline as you watch on demand. Be sure to visit all of our on-demand recordings for sessions of this Kahoot Teacher Talks, as well as previous sessions. We'll be in touch with you via email so that you get all of these awesome resources, but we hope you continue learning on your own experiences too. So as we conclude our first webinar, I just also want to share a moment of thanks. Thank you to Mara for helping us see the click by clicks. Thank you, Jisun, for helping us see the why and the how to make Kahootopia and awesome learning even more accessible in the classroom. And thank you to you, educators, for being here and joining and sharing. We appreciate you. Excited to see how excited you are. I see this was awesome. This is awesome. So exciting, very informative and fun. Fabulous. We think so too. And we're glad that you joined with us. So we will see you next time at the January Kahoot Teacher Talks. And as always, happy Kahooting. We'll see you on the podium.